Good morning, students. Today we're going to be going over my answers to the activity rolling the dice. And hopefully you can take my answers and kind of apply them to your answers with your rolls. Okay, so rolling the dice was an activity I assigned on the 11th. And we're going to be taking a look at my answers. I rolled the dice 100 times. And these are my results: 2, 5, 8, 10, 16. So the number 6 appeared 16 times. I got the number 6 16 times. You can see it kind of starts low, goes up, and then ends up low again. That's what we call a normal curve. So that's, yours are going to be different, but I think those are the results that you should have got. Okay, so if we go to Desmos and down to the keyboard, functions, stats, and we open up the mean, we're going to have to put those numbers in. Now, the way you put those numbers in is you got 2 2s, 3 5s, 4 8s. So I'm going to type in 2 2s separated by comma, 3 3s, 5 3s separated by comma, and so on. I'm going to pause the video right now and let you put in yours. I'm going to put in mine. So let's pause the video. Okay, we're back, and I typed in all my numbers and I got a mean of 6.72. I'm going to round that to a 7. And for standard deviation, we go to functions. Let's go to STDEV. And instead of retyping all those numbers, which was a pain, we're going to cut and paste those numbers if we can. I'll pause the video so I can do that. All right, so I got a mean of 6.83 and a standard deviation of 2.11. I'm actually going to use the 6.83 and the 2.11. So down here in my answers, I'm going to keep in mind that the mean 6.83 and the standard deviation is 2.11. All right, now I'm going to create a normal distribution with my mean being 6.83 and my standard deviation being 2.11. To do that, you go over to functions, pop up distribution tab, normal distribution, and you type in your mean. I'm going to use the whole 6.83 and 2.11 for my standard deviation. Now the graph doesn't look good, so I'm going to hit this magnifying glass, zoom fit, and then just to show you there's 100% underneath the curve, I highlight all underneath the curve and there's 100%. So now I can go ahead and answer questions. First thing I'm going to do though before I answer questions is I'm going to put my marks here, 6.83, and then I just add and subtract 2.11. So 6.83 plus 2.11 give me 8.94. Drag that over. Then I just add and subtract it again to get left and right standard deviations. I'll pause the video, Rick, and do that. Okay, so I got 6.83 plus 2.11 all the way to 13.16 and minus 2.11 all the way to 0.5. So there's my answers. What is the z-score of 8? So figure out a z-score. Remember what we do is we take 8 and subtract the mean, which is 6.83, and then divide it by the standard deviation. Put a nice little division sign there. Going to divide that by 2.11. All right, on the calculator, you just got to make sure that you put parentheses on top. So we got 6 minus 8 minus 6.83. And then division, but with parentheses, by 2.11 will give me 0.55. That's my z-score. All right, and then I need a percentile for 8. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the min of my curve as negative infinity. I'm going to put the max of my curve as 8. You can see the shaded region now goes from 0 to 8, and my decimal is 0.71. So what percent is 0.71? 8 would be the 71st percentile. Or you can write 71st. Okay. All right, so a z-score of 4 is definitely going to be smaller than a z-score of 8. So I'm going to take this, I got my z-score of 4 minus 6.83 divided by 2.11. So I got 4, just change that to a 4, divide by 2.11 will give me negative 1.34. So negative 1.34. And then my percentile for 4 is going to give me negative infinity to the 4 is a little bit smaller of a shaded region. It's going to give me 0.089, or about the 9th percentile. The 9th percentile. Okay. All right, if you roll the dice again, what are your chances of getting below 8? Well, 8 is in the 71st percentile, so my chances of getting anything below 8, a 2, a 3, a 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, is 71%. If you want to roll the dice again, what are the chances of getting between 5 and 8? All we have to do is go to our curve here and change it from 5 to 8. And we'll see our percent underneath the curve is 51%, 52% roughly. So my chances are 52% of getting a 5, 6, 7, or 8 on the rolls. You want to roll the dice again, estimate the chances of getting above 5. So we're going to change that 8 to just an infinity by leaving it blank. And the chances of getting above 5 are about 81%. So I can bank on getting above 5 81% of the time when I roll the dice. Let's say Billy rolls 200 times. Estimate how many rolls will be below 3. Well, it shouldn't be that many, but let's figure out the percent first. Let's leave that blank and go to 3. And we got a 3%. That's what we kind of figured. 3 or 4%. I'm going to leave it as 0.034, 0.035. Okay, so I'm going to take my 0.035 and multiply that by 200 times. And that's going to give me how many of those times, roughly, will be below 3. So let's just clear that out. 0.035 times 200 rolls, about 7 rolls. Again, that's an estimate, but it's a good estimate based on our data. 7 rolls. 7 times. We're going to get below 3. Estimate how many Billy's rolls will be above 3. Well, if 7 rolls are going to be below 3 out of 200, then 193 times you're going to get above 3. How did I get that? 200 minus 7, 193. All right, let's say you're a casino owner. You want to pay the least amount of money on numbers that are most chance of occurring. What rolls of 2 dice would you pay the least on? Well, most of my percent is between, I would say between 6 and 9 or 6 and 8, about 5 to 8. If you look at 5 to 8, maybe even 5 to 9, 5 to 9, 65% of the time people are going to roll between 5 and 9, 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, or a 9. So that would be the least amount I'd want to pay out on. So I'd want to pay out from rolls 5 to 9. Okay? If you want to get a little bit more specific, the highest point is 7. Looks like the highest point is 7. I would definitely pay out the least amount of money on a 7. Snake Eyes sometimes pays out the most amount of money. Why? Well, you have the least amount of chance of getting it. So lowest chance of getting 2. Okay? And same thing with a 12, by the way. Lucky 7 is a phrase heard a lot in gambling. What do you think is accurate phrase? Well, 7 occurs a lot. And that's pretty much it. Those are my answers for the exercise. You can go ahead and fill in your answers based on your rolls of the dice. Your table is going to be a little bit different, but go ahead and try it out.